If you spent any time searching AI Side Hustles 2026, you've probably seen the same cycle. Either a thumbnail promising 5 figures a month with a robot doing all the work, or a skeptic video dunking on every single AI gig as a scam. Neither one is honest, and neither one tells you what you actually need to know, which is which specific AI side hustles produce real income with realistic timelines, and which ones are just recycled hype dressed up in new packaging. That's exactly what this video does. We're going through 8 AI side hustles, real numbers on each one, an honest catch for every single item, and an opportunity score out of 10 so you can actually compare them. At the end, I'll rank them, name the surprise winner, call out the overrated one, and tell you exactly which one to start with if you've only got 30 days and limited time. Before we get into the ones that actually pay, I want to show you the single most common AI side hustle people start in 2026 and why it almost always earns close to zero. Because avoiding that one mistake saves you months of wasted effort, and it sets up exactly why the gigs at the top of this list work so differently. We'll hit that one first. Let's start with the trap. Generic AI writing is probably the most popular entry point into AI side hustles 2026, and it's also the one with the highest failure rate. The pitch is simple. Use ChatGPT or Claude to write blog posts, product descriptions, and social content. Then sell that on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork. It sounds reasonable. It isn't. Here's what's actually happening in the market right now. Content mills that used to pay 3 to 5 cents per word are paying 1 cent or less. Fiverr's AI writing category is flooded with sellers from markets where pricing that low is still profitable. And buyers who know what they're doing have started using AI themselves, so the market for AI-generated content as a standalone product has basically collapsed at the low end. What's left is either highly specialized writing, legal, medical, technical, where you need domain expertise anyway, or content strategy work where the human judgment is the actual product. Neither of those is what most beginners are offering. The honest income range for generic AI writing in 2026 is $0 to $400 a month for most beginners, and that upper end requires serious hustle with no guarantee of repeat clients. The catch is brutal. You're competing with thousands of sellers using the same tools you are, and buyers have figured that out. Opportunity score, 2 out of 10. Low ceiling, saturated floor, no meaningful moat. That's the mistake most people make.
Now, here's why the gigs that actually work look completely different. Number 1 on the real earners list, AI chatbot side hustle work. Specifically, building and deploying custom chatbots for small businesses using platforms like ManyChat, Chatbase, or VoiceFlow. This is where AI side hustles that actually make money in 2026 are actually happening at scale. Here's what the work looks like. A local dentist wants a chatbot that handles appointment FAQs, collects new patient info, and routes urgent requests to a human. They don't know how to build it, they don't want to learn, they'll pay someone to build it and maintain it. That someone can be you. The real number? Setup fees typically run between $800 and $2,000 depending on complexity. Monthly retainers for updates and maintenance run between $150 and $400 a month per client. Get 3 clients on retainer, and you're looking at $450 to $1,200 a month in recurring revenue on top of whatever new builds you're doing. That's not a fantasy number. That's what working builders in this space are charging in 2026 based on what the market is actually clearing. The catch is the sales process. Building the chatbot isn't the hard part once you've learned the tools. Finding and closing the clients is where most people stall out. You need to be comfortable with outreach, whether that's cold email, LinkedIn, or walking into local businesses. And here's the thing most guides won't tell you. The highest converting pitch isn't, "I'll build you a chatbot." It's, "I'll save your front desk 15 hours a week." Lead with the problem, not the tool. Opportunity score? 8 out of 10. Number 2, AI workflow automation consulting. This one flies under the radar because it doesn't sound as flashy as AI chatbot or AI content. But the AI workflow automation side hustle is one of the most reliably paid AI services in 2026. The work is connecting apps, automating repetitive tasks, and building simple internal tools for small to mid-sized businesses using platforms like Zapier, Make, formerly Integromat, or N8N. You're not writing code. You're solving the "we do this manually 15 times a day and it's killing us" problem. Think about a small e-commerce brand that manually copies order data from Shopify into a Google Sheet, then emails a supplier, then updates a tracking spreadsheet. That whole chain can be automated in a day of focused work. They'll pay for that. And because most business owners have no idea how to build it themselves, the perceived value is enormous relative to your actual time investment once you've learned the tools. Real numbers. Project fees for straightforward automations run $300 to $800. More complex builds with multiple integrations and conditional logic can run $1,200 to $3,000. Ongoing retainers for businesses that want continuous optimization are common at $200 to $500 a month. The AI workflow automation side hustle has a ceiling that scales with your complexity, which is why it earns a spot near the top. Opportunity score, 8 out of 10. There's something worth knowing about both of those top 2 gigs, and this is the part most people skip because it sounds like boring admin. The reason chatbot building and workflow automation pay more than content work isn't because they're harder to learn, it's because the ROI is measurable. A business owner can see that their front desk fielded 40% fewer repetitive calls after the chatbot went live. They can watch an automation save 3 hours of manual data entry per day. When the buyer can quantify your impact, they'll keep paying for it. Content rarely gives you that kind of clean ROI signal, which is exactly why content work competes on price, while automation work competes on value. Stick with me here because this logic is going to matter when we get to the rankings. Number 3. LinkedIn Ghostwriting with AI Assist. LinkedIn Ghostwriting is one of the oldest service-based side hustles in the freelance world, but pairing it with Claude AI or ChatGPT changes the economics dramatically. Before AI tools, a good ghostwriter could produce 3 to 4 posts per client per week at a sustainable pace. With a solid AI-assisted workflow, the same writer can handle 8 to 12 clients with similar quality output. That's the multiplier. The service is straightforward. You work with a founder, executive, or professional who knows they should be posting on LinkedIn but never does it. You interview them, understand their voice, build a content calendar, write the posts using AI to accelerate drafting, then refine and publish. They get a consistent presence, you get a retainer. Real numbers. LinkedIn ghostwriting retainers in 2026 typically run between $800 and $2,000 per month per client at the mid-market level, with some high-end writers charging above that for proven executives. With an AI workflow cutting your production time roughly in half, 2 to 3 clients is a genuine part-time income. 4 to 6 clients starts approaching full-time territory. The Claude AI side hustle angle here is real. Writers who use Claude specifically report it handles nuanced, professional voice matching better than tools optimized for mass content. The catch is that this gig lives or dies on your ability to capture someone else's voice convincingly. Generic ghostwritten posts get ignored or flagged. Good ghostwritten posts build real audiences. That gap is skill, not tool access. Opportunity score, 7 out of 10. Number 4. AI-assisted bookkeeping and financial report writing. This one is genuinely underrated. Small business owners need clean monthly financial reports, cash flow summaries, and simple analysis. They're not getting it from their accountant, who charges too much for routine summaries. Tools like Dext, QuickBooks with AI features, and even Claude for summarizing and explaining financial data have made it possible for someone without a CPA license to offer organized financial narrative reports to small businesses. It's not accounting advice. It's organized, readable reporting with pattern callouts. Real numbers. Monthly reporting packages for small businesses typically run $250 to $600 per client, depending on complexity. This is one of those gigs where 10 clients is achievable at a reasonable time investment once you've built your workflow, which puts the ceiling at $2,500 to $6,000 a month for a well-organized operator. The honest catch? You need to be clear with clients that you're not providing accounting or tax advice, just data organization and readable reporting. That boundary matters legally and practically. Opportunity score, 6 out of 10. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because number 5 on this list is one you've almost certainly heard about, and the reality is more nuanced than either the cheerleaders or the skeptics will tell you. AI content for YouTube and social media as a productized service. Not the generic writing mill version I described at the top, but a specialized, packaged service. Scripting YouTube videos, writing short-form content for a specific vertical, fitness, finance, real estate, or building a complete content system for a creator or brand. This works when you go deep in one niche and charge accordingly, and it fails when you go broad and compete on price. The difference between this and generic AI writing is positioning and specialization. A fitness YouTube scriptwriter who knows the YouTube algorithm and writes to retention charges completely differently than I write AI content cheap. Real numbers for the packaged, specialized version: $300 to $800 per script for YouTube at the mid-tier, or $1,200 to $3,500 per month for a monthly content package covering multiple formats. That's a real business if you've got the niche credibility.
Without it, you're back in the race to the bottom.
Opportunity score, 5 out of 10. High ceiling if you specialize, low floor if you don't. If you're thinking about building a productized service around any of these top items, particularly the ghostwriting or content packages, System.io is the free all-in-one tool worth knowing about. It lets you build a simple landing page, set up a payment link, and run a basic email follow-up sequence without paying for multiple separate tools. The free plan is enough to get started. Links in the description. Now for the traps. Because the Make Money with AI 2026 space is full of them, and they're getting more expensive to fall into. Trap number 1. Selling prompt engineering as a standalone product. This one was plausible in late 2023. It's not in 2026. The market for Learn Prompt Engineering courses, prompt packs in prompt libraries, has almost completely collapsed at the consumer level. Why? Because the models got smarter. GPT-4o, Claude 3.5, and their successors in 2026 are significantly better at understanding imprecise instructions than the early models were. The specialized knowledge of crafting elaborate prompts is less valuable now than it was 2 years ago. The only place prompt engineering still commands a premium is inside enterprise AI implementation, where it's one component of a larger technical role, not a standalone freelance product. Opportunity score, 2 out of 10. Don't build a business here. Trap number 2, AI dropshipping. The pitch is compelling. Use AI to find trending products, write listings, optimize ads, and run a store on near autopilot. The reality is messier. Dropshipping's fundamental problem, which is low margins, long shipping times, and fierce competition, isn't solved by AI tools. AI helps you move faster inside a broken model, not fix the model. The platforms are also catching up. Shopify's own AI tools mean every other seller is running the same optimizations you are. The businesses making real money in e-commerce in 2026 are differentiated through product, brand, or supply chain, none of which AI automates away. The FTC has also increased enforcement around false scarcity and AI-generated review content in 2026, which creates real legal exposure for operators who cut corners on copy. Opportunity score, 2 out of 10. Trap number 3, passive AI income courses. This one deserves a direct call-out because it's where a lot of beginners lose real money. The structure is always the same. Someone who made money selling a course about making money with AI now sells you a course about building a passive income stream with AI. The course teaches you to build your own AI income course. The only people making money in this loop are the people at the top of it. The FTC's 2024 income disclosure guidance, which tightened significantly in 2025 and 2026, requires earnings claims to be typical and substantiated. A lot of the courses floating around right now don't come close to meeting that standard. If you're evaluating a course, look for verifiable student results and a clear income disclosure. If they're not showing you both, walk away. Opportunity score, 1 out of 10. The exception is a course built around genuine, demonstrable expertise in a real skill, not here's how to make money with AI as the core product. Trap number 4, generic AI social media management. Not the specialized LinkedIn ghostwriting I mentioned earlier, but the broad, I'll manage your Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok with AI tools offer. This space has the same structural problem as generic content writing. Every mid-size brand already has either an in-house person, an agency, or their own AI subscription. The market for AI-assisted social media posting as a freelance service is being squeezed from both sides. Opportunity score, 2 out of 10 for the generic version, which is the version most beginners are offering. Okay, here's the honest caveats section. And this is the part that matters more than any individual score I've given. Every number in this video is a range, not a guarantee. The timelines to get to those ranges are real. For chatbot building and workflow automation, most people need 60 to 90 days of learning before they can deliver a polished client project. LinkedIn ghostwriting takes time to build a client base through referrals or outreach. The bookkeeping service requires you to set up your workflow and templates before it becomes efficient. None of this is passive income. These are service businesses with real-time requirements, real client management, and real variance depending on your market and your outreach effort. Tax reality. If you're earning from any of these as a freelancer in the US, you're self-employed. That means quarterly estimated taxes, a self-employment tax on top of income tax, and keeping clean records. Set aside roughly 25 to 30% of every dollar until you've talked to a tax professional. That number surprises a lot of first-time freelancers, and it shouldn't catch you off guard. There's no ramp that goes from $0 to $2,000 a month in 30 days on any of these. Not honestly.
The realistic first-month target for someone starting from scratch is your first paid project, probably in the $200 to $500 range, and your first client relationship. Month 2 and 3 is where the income starts to compound, if you're doing the outreach work consistently. Now here's the verdict, and the payoff I teased at the top. Remember I said I'd tell you the single most common AI side hustle that earns close to zero? Generic AI writing is the answer, and you can now see exactly why. It's a commodity service in a saturated market with no measurable ROI for the buyer. The gigs that work in 2026 share one thing. They solve a specific, quantifiable problem for a specific client, and the client can see the result. Chatbot building saves front desk time. Automation consulting eliminates manual processes. LinkedIn ghostwriting builds measurable audience growth. Even the bookkeeping service produces a report the client can read and act on. The gigs that fail are the ones where the value is diffuse, commoditized, or circular. Ranked by opportunity score, AI chatbot building and AI workflow automation consulting tie at the top with an 8 out of 10 each. Those are your winners. LinkedIn ghostwriting with AI Assist is a strong 7. AI-assisted bookkeeping reporting is a 6. Specialized AI content packages are a 5 with high variance. Generic AI writing, AI dropshipping, and prompt engineering products all land at a 2 or below. Passive AI income courses are a 1. The surprise winner, if you'd asked most people before watching this, probably would have been the content writing gig because it sounds easiest to start. It's actually near the bottom. The real winner, the AI workflow automation side hustle, sounds technical and intimidating, but the learning curve on tools like Zapier and Make is genuinely accessible. You don't need to code, you need to understand business processes and be willing to spend 2 to 3 weeks learning the platforms. The overrated one is prompt engineering as a product. It had a moment. That moment is over. The sleeper is the AI-assisted bookkeeping service. Almost nobody talks about this in AI Freelancing 2026 content. The barrier is low, the clients are easy to find, every small business needs it, and the retainer model means consistent monthly income once you've got 5 or 6 clients. If you've got the next 30 days and you're picking one lane, start with AI workflow automation. Spend the first 2 weeks on Make or Zapier learning the platform using their free tier and tutorial library. Pick a specific business type you want to serve. Retail, real estate, service businesses, whatever you have a natural connection to. In week 3, build a sample automation for a fictional business so you have something to show. In week 4, do your first outreach. 5 targeted emails or LinkedIn messages a day to local businesses in your niche. Your goal in month 1 isn't revenue, it's your first discovery call. That's the foundation everything else builds on. If this helped you cut through some of the AI side hustle hype versus reality noise, a like genuinely helps YouTube show this to other people trying to figure out the same thing. There are a couple more videos on this channel going deeper on specific platforms and tools if you want to keep going. The AI Side Hustles 2026 space is genuinely full of real opportunity. It's also full of people selling you a map to a place they've never actually been. You now know how to tell the difference.